You guys made it to the channel. We're talking about Carson City, Nevada. Cost of living.
Yeah.
Going down today. Let's just get into it.
National average is 100.
Natural average baseline is 100. So everything we talk about above or below, that's where Carson City is coming in at.
All right, overall 110.
Food, 101.
Health, 109.
Housing, 141.
Utilities, 95.5.
Transportation, 83.7.
And miscellaneous is 99.
Boom.
That's
That's our quickest video we've ever done.
Finally, no more yammering.
Psych! Just joking, guys. But those are the numbers of Carson City, the cost of living. We're obviously going to be breaking down everything. We're going into the different hospitals, why some are more expensive than others. Right?
Yeah.
The property taxes, national average, why Carson and Nevada as a whole is so much better. I'll even tell you how much I pay for my property taxes.
Absolutely. I don't have a house yet, but
Not yet.
I'm finding one.
We go into, the electricity, how much a kilowatt costs. And again, we're making this as interesting as possible. We're always giving it to you straight, no BS whatsoever. Sometimes Ryan does,
Yeah.
but we'll call him out if he does. But if that's information you guys are looking for, Carson City, Nevada, the cost of living. If you're moving here, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Welcome to the channel. I'm Ryan Chickvara.
I'm Joe Hanich.
That's a lie. I'm Joe Hanich.
Ryan Chickvara.
If this is your first time to the video, guys, we're doing all things Northern Nevada.
Yeah.
Right? We encompass Carson City, Nevada, which we do today. Reno, Tahoe,
Touched on Dayton, that sort of stuff before.
Dayton, Gardnerville. We are literally talking about
Fallon,
what it's like to live, eat, sleep, play, golf,
drink,
gamble, and everything else in between, guys. In this video, we are going over the cost of living in Carson City, Nevada. If this is your first time to the channel, hit the subscribe button.
Ding it.
Boom. Hit the bell.
Ding.
Right? We're trying to do videos every week, every other week. Life gets in the way sometimes, but if that's information you're looking for, that's what we're pumping out in this channel.
Yeah.
Couple dudes trying to put out content. So here we go. Cost of living, Carson City, Nevada, 2021.
Let's go.
Here we go. Jumping right into it. The cost of living, Carson City, Nevada. State capital. What are we touching on first?
Let's go with just overall. We're going to wrap it up overall.
Overall.
We'll leave that at the end.
So just kind of some insight. We've done a cost of living in Reno, Nevada. The national average index we're going to work with here is flat 100.
Yeah.
And so above or below, that's kind of where Carson's going to rank. Overall, Carson is a 110.
Yeah. So this isn't going to be by any means a comparison between Carson and Reno. We are going to reference Reno a little bit, just being 30 minutes up the road, obviously, and where we're currently living. But 110. So above average, obviously. Some of the things that go into those statistics, though, the housing market, food, health, utilities, everything's taken into account.
Certain percentages of everything.
Exactly, but 30% of overall ratings for the cost of living, according to, I believe it's Best Places, is the housing market, right? So right now we're seeing a crazy influx up here in prices, and so that number is definitely buoyed by the housing market.
By far. And to put things into perspective a little bit, Reno being right next to it overall is 116.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be a Carson versus Reno, although we will do that in the future. But just saying Carson is a little bit below Reno, a little bit higher on the national average.
Yeah.
And jumping right into that, since we're talking about kind of housing, we are a couple real estate agents.
Yeah, that's what you're here for, right?
Here local, exactly. And so the housing market in Carson is a little bit cheaper.
It is. It's a little bit cheaper, obviously, because of the fact that you're not in Reno. You don't get all those big city amenities, all those different things like that. But over the years, we have seen it go up a little bit, right? So median home price right now is $425.
Yep.
Which is much higher. I grew up in Carson City. That's much higher than it's ever been.
It is pretty high. Currently, just looking at Realtor.com, 282 homes for sale in Carson. And we are looking at, or we just talked about
425, but that is a 16.4% increase
year over year.
Yeah.
So if you have the same home, right, last year, that equity that you just gained, tens of thousands, if not over $100,000 in 1 year.
Yeah.
Again, it's fantastic if you already broke into the market. If not, you are paying a little bit higher price for that. But I don't expect, or we don't anticipate to see that double-digit year-over-year increase. Ideally, be healthy 6%, 8% would definitely be a healthy increase. But yeah, we're just presenting the facts there. Average days on market, we were looking at 46 days, which people are like, I've seen houses go for sale in, pending same day.
Yeah.
That is correct, but that includes the entire escrow, right? And so if you're looking at a 45-day escrow, which is average, standard, 30 days is pushing it, then you're right there at a 1 to 7 days on the market before going pending.
Yeah, and I think just touching on the housing market as well, the influx that we've seen of people moving into Reno has also incentivized a lot of people to
think outside the box a little bit.
Think outside the box, or just empty nesters, people who kids are out of the house now. And so you've got your house in Reno, no better time to sell potentially and just downgrade a little bit in size, whatever it may be, and go to a market just 30 minutes down the road. Well, you're not really leaving home, but you've got an opportunity down now in Carson to take some of that equity and run, right? So
definitely. And we have a lot of people reaching out, and not only people moving right from outside of Nevada, or whatnot. But yeah, we do have locals, like Ryan just said, that they're selling their downsize and they're looking to Carson. Maybe they want a little bit more land, a little bit smaller house, or they're selling and maybe they want a bigger house. And what they sell here, they can afford that over there.
Yeah, it's a lateral movement as far as what they're selling for and what they're buying down in Carson, but you're just getting more bang for your buck.
Definitely. So. And Carson has a wide variety, right? So they also have their golf course living. We were just talking today about Silver Oak.
Yeah, growing up there, Silver Oak's a great golf course community. We also have, right just down the street, you have Old Carson, right? So houses that have been there since 1870. So you've got the old big porches. Every house looks a little bit different.
Definitely.
And then where I grew up, a little bit on the southeast side of Carson, you've got tract homes that have been there since the late 80s.
Yep.
And then even further southeast, you get into more ranch style homes.
Definitely.
So tons of different options down there.
Yeah, a lot of homes too, right on the base of the Sierras. And so, I think a lot of people think of Carson City that being flat, kind of, high desert, that there's nothing there. It's not pretty. Couldn't be farther away from the truth. Some of the best views of the Sierras, definitely in Carson, going south, obviously Minden, Gardnerville, kind of things like that. But you can see, as far as the eye can see, I guess. But what else were we going to talk about?
There's tons of different things. We going to reference the meeting we had with some clients today, actually, just because it was just one of those things where we kind of went through all this stuff with them. But food, right? So one of the things that they brought up to us, it's not something that you hear all the time from people. That's not the first thing people think of when they're moving somewhere. But they did kind of get into it a little bit with us about food.
The
grocery stores, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because everywhere is different, right? So we have Rayleigh's Bel Air out here. We have Smith's. We have Safeway. We used to have, we have Sprouts, Whole Foods,
Costco,
wherever it may be.
Yeah.
But food is a 101. So we're right at national average as far as food costs go. The couple we were talking to, they might get to watch this video later. They're from Charlotte, North Carolina, and they were mentioning Aldi and some of the food costs down there. I'd be interested to look up and see, because she was talking about getting a dozen eggs for
45 cents,
49 cents, and a gallon of milk for $1.98. I think immediately right before shooting this, I was looking up. It was $3.20 for a gallon of milk out here at Rayleigh's. So not crazy, but when you're used to paying $1.98, maybe that is crazy.
And that's something that you notice. Well, I guess that's that. I don't really have much to say
groceries.
about
Groceries. You've got your different options, right? And we've touched on this before. Whole Foods, you're paying a pretty penny because of all the organic and all the different options that you've got there.
Exactly.
Sprouts, kind of similar. We touched on with them, actually, Grocery Outlet, a store around here that's a little bit cheaper, but they're starting to get into some of the more local stuff as well. So you've got tons of options, but overall, you're not going to see anything too crazy that just blows your mind walking in and all of a sudden a gallon of milk is $9 or something, right? So
Definitely.
yeah.
Jumping in, let's talk about taxes a little bit, right? One of the main reasons why a lot of people are moving here. No state income tax, no corporate income tax, which is fantastic. Sales tax, we do have. Some people kind of get confused about that. We're at 6.85%. When it comes to property tax, we are still some of the lowest in the entire nation. Carson City as a whole is about 0.61%. Your property tax, and that median property tax is $1,488 a year.
Yeah.
So $1,488 a year is the median home price.
So yeah, we touched on that. Carson City is going to be 0.61 though. So it's actually the state average is 0.53. It's a little bit higher than state average, but Nevada kind of well known for having basically Las Vegas, Reno, Carson's a little bit bigger. The bigger cities are few and far between. So to be at 0.61 when you're looking at the state average of 0.53,
Fantastic.
and you got to take into account that Goldfield. This may not be a fact, but I don't think Goldfield's property taxes are very high out there.
Definitely. And they, just to put everything, all that into perspective, U.S. national average is 1.07% on the property tax.
Yeah. So we did like just a quick, example, $400,000. When you're paying that 0.61 for Carson City, your property tax on that is going to be about $2,440, something like that, a year. And then national average, that jumps all the way up to almost like $4,200. So
definitely. And there's some other things to take into consideration. Each year that your home has been built, there's a certain depreciation that you can take off. I didn't have the exact numbers on that. And then there also is a tax abatement law that went into effect a while back, to where your taxes, property tax, can only be raised 3% every year. They can't increase it above that. So your equity, right, you just looked at 16.4% increase year over year. Great for you. They can only raise your property tax 3%. Which is great. So property taxes are fantastic here. I'm here in Reno. We're actually at my house right now. This beautiful brick fireplace. Haven't used it yet. You got some by your face there a little bit. Other side, left side. Yeah. But my house was built in 1953. $430,000 home, and we're paying like $850 in property tax. Again, that depreciation, things like that come into play, which is fantastic. On those newer homes, you're looking right at the 0.61%.
On to the next one then, right?
Let's go with utilities.
Sure. What we got? 0.0863 per kilowatt hour.
And this is, and I found that, grab that info because somebody called us out in the comments for that, right? When you're talking about electricity, just stating what you pay for this, square footage of a home. Well, there's a lot of things to consider if you're high efficiency, things like that. So we are 0.0863 per kilowatt hour here in northern Nevada,
which is 21.4% lower than the U.S.
Boom.
Right.
So and that's per NV Energy coming. Stats coming from the energy company up here.
Yeah. So overall, the utilities there, we're at very similar to Reno as well. Just touching on that, 95.5. So below the national average for cost on utilities there.
Yeah.
That obviously just goes into air conditioning, heating, all that different stuff, electric bill. So yeah, we're making out there.
Definitely, yeah, which is awesome. Moving on.
And just real quick, just wanted to touch on that. We also do get questions. We've looked into some homes too that have solar power rentals and things of that nature, and so that's all through different companies. But you do have that option, right? So get solar panels up on your roof. We've touched on that in another video. I believe we have over 285 days of sunshine.
Definitely.
Right? So,
and I think it's a decent option. I think what is being discussed now is the purchase price that the power companies are going to be buying back, right? The energy that you're producing. I don't think it's great at the moment, so it's not as popular. Obviously, we have the sunshine, even down in Vegas in the south. And so I think, there's an initiative right now to kind of make that a lot better. So solar moving forward is more of a popular option for us as well.
Yeah. On to healthcare.
Healthcare coming from Carson, right? We've got Carson Tahoe Regional Medical Center.
Yep.
The only real hospital in Carson.
Yeah.
So it's gonna put the healthcare a little bit higher.
Yeah. What are we at there? 109.
109. The options just really aren't there. And Carson, the hospital there actually is a short-term acute care facility.
Yeah. So only 211 beds.
Yeah, smaller, 211 beds. Right, they can handle people in the emergency room, but if it is serious, they're then being transported here to Reno or the Bay Area if they're looking for some real specialists there.
Yeah, we've touched on that before. We've got St. Mary's up here, Renown up here as well, and then they got a new hospital going in. But Carson Tahoe is right at the edge of the basin there, so it's actually literally as you come up over the hill out of Washoe Valley. So Carson Tahoe to St. Mary or to Renown is going to be a 25-minute drive. So oftentimes people from Carson, just touching on the number there, it's 92 for the healthcare rating in Reno. And so oftentimes, you're planning on having a baby and you live in Carson City, you're probably doing it up in Reno. So
definitely. And with health, I mean, they took into consideration like going to the dentist.
It's dentist, just your cost of your average visit to your family doctor.
Yeah.
How long how much it costs to stay overnight in the hospital, right?
So your copay.
Exactly. There's a bunch of stuff that goes into it. It's not just as simple as, the surgery in Carson for a broken arm costs this much more than the surgery in Reno. Definitely.
And just talking on the hospitals real quick. So Reno currently has 2, St. Mary's that we talked about.
Renown.
And Renown. St. Mary's is an acute care facility with 380 beds, right? So they can handle a little bit more, a little bit larger. Renown Regional Medical Center is by far the largest. It is a level 2 trauma medical center, and they're looking at a little over 800 beds. Fiance and I just had our first child. Went through Renown. Great experience all the way through. So, kudos to them. Little Miles came out perfect. 10 fingers, 10 toes. So that's a plus.
We would have shot this video about an hour ago too, but we were doing daddy daycare too. So
yeah, we had to take care of him, put him down for a nap. He just wouldn't sleep long enough.
Yep.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, well, that's because we yammer too much, Joe. Yes. We probably could have got it done while he was sleeping, but we yammered.
That's very true. Dad life.
On to transportation. We like this one just because it's not just as simple as bus fare or there's obviously no subway around here. Anything like this or like that. It goes into basically just ranks you based off of your car insurance cost, your gas prices, your cost of repairs. Even.
Yeah, or how much it costs to register the car.
Exactly. So Carson has no smog. That was new to me when I had first moved up here. I didn't realize that every time my old Dodge Stratus I thought I was fine and dandy. I didn't see any smoke coming out the back, but nonetheless,
$35.
Yeah,
every single time.
Yeah, had to get smogged out there. So just stuff like that all goes into it. Carson is extremely low, 83.7 compared to the national average. Obviously, we keep touching on that 100 number. So gas down there is real cheap. Oftentimes, if I'm driving to Tahoe and I know I can make it to Carson on my way out, I'm filling up down there or on the way back as opposed to filling out before I leave. So.
And that's every time hitting the Costco, right there at the base of the hill, heading up to Tahoe. You're filling up with gas. You're just getting gas. That's just kind of what it is. Nice.
And on to what last one we got there is just the miscellaneous number. So this is kind of where they just come in. Covers everything else. It actually makes up 32% of their overall ranking.
Yeah.
But it's just so it is a giant chunk, but it's just as simple as things that we haven't included already: food, healthcare, all that different stuff. And it's basically just your normal stuff of going out to a restaurant, right? So obviously we've touched on this with like Las Vegas before. That when you're on the Strip, you're paying a pretty penny, right?
Definitely.
So your cost of food down there, when you're getting the same steak that you might be getting in Carson City, is doubled, right?
Definitely, by far.
Carson comes in right at 99, so real close to your national average once again. Excuse me, tongue twister there. And so, you're sitting right there. Nothing that's gonna sway you from this or that. Knowing that, wow, we're paying that much extra to clothe our kids and to go out to dinner, just right with national average. So
definitely. And again, the reasons why we put up the content, put out all these videos, are for people relocating here, right?
Yeah.
You're looking to buy something in the area. This is our specialty. This is what we are doing all this for. So again, if you are moving here, thinking about moving here, call, text, email, get a hold of us. We're helping people. I mean, we were just at lunch with some clients earlier.
Yeah, and they might not be out here for a little, but
for a while.
Yeah.
But we're here to help. We love meeting new people. So anything we can do, to entice you, to help you to move here. And again, if you are in the, in the market for a house, it's tough right now. We still have very low inventory. Take a look at some of our other videos, but you need a couple experts.
Yeah,
some
and I mean,
specialties.
that being said, we're making it work, right?
Definitely.
So,
Any budget, any price point, any location, we're the guys.
Yeah, and I mean, that being said, I think we shoot it straight. We just at that lunch, they were kind of thinking of what they should do next on their trip here, and Virginia City came up, and I've got no problem with Virginia City. It's a fun little getaway for an afternoon, but it's like going back in time. You can do some old mining stuff up there, but
Definitely.
just got a vibe from them, and we're like, yeah, you might want to go check out Truckee today or
Yeah,
something.
when you're limited time, right?
Yeah.
It'd be different if you had a week or two, like, sure, go burn 4, 5, 6 hours up Virginia City. But
we'll tell it to you straight, so.
definitely, every time. So until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in.
Peace.